chat.
Hi, Laura. How do you assess the team's performance tonight, and what's the state of mind after this game tonight?
Yeah, I think we talked about it in the room after. There's a reason it's a series and not just a one-game matchup. Obviously not the result we want on a game one, but there's positives to take from it. There's also some learning that we need to do. Wasn't our best game from every single one of us, from the top to the bottom. Goaltending out, I think we all can be better in game two, and we know it. And so that's the messaging: is we regroup here. We know we want it, but what does that mean? What can we take away from this to be better Sunday?
Sure.
Talking about that, last year a lot of the talk was, playing your best game, still not coming away with it. Having the ability to say, we can be better than we were today, is that something you can take away from this as a positive a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. It's tough. Hockey is tough. I had to take a deep breath before coming in here because it hurts. Losing hurts, especially in the playoffs when you want it that bad. But you're right. I do think that is a positive. It wasn't our best, and we were right there. That game was just as much ours as was theirs. We outshot them. I don't know the stats, but we had a lot of great opportunities. We were right there. So you're right. I think there is some positives to take in the sense of, okay, it wasn't our best, and we were still right there. So if we can put that game together for 60 whole minutes, it'll look scary, I think.
Laura, you just said losing hurts. I know you guys hate references to last year's playoff run, but you're now winless in 4 playoff games in the history of the franchise. Do you feel that comes with some kind of weight on the player's shoulder?
Of course, it's tough to hear, especially being a leader on this team. You don't want to see that. You don't want to hear that. I feel it. Of course, I need to put a chance away too. It's just as much on me as it is every single person in that locker room. And I think the good part about it is the sun comes up tomorrow. We're positive in that room. We know what we can do. We know how great of a season we had. We know that we're going to lose. We didn't expect to come in here and go through this playoff run and just never experience adversity, never experience a loss. So I think we're trying to not necessarily think about last year as much as it's brought up, because it is a completely new team in that locker room. And I think you can see that throughout the entire season, and I think you'll continue to see that moving forward here.
Maureen, you had good playoffs last year. How good did that goal feel for you tonight?
Yeah, I think it's huge, but not just for me, to have both our power play units really kick things off. That's huge for us. It's a huge momentum changer, but we don't want to just build momentum. We want to score, and thankfully we did that tonight in both units, so that's a positive going into the next game.
Laura, you talked a lot about yourselves. You guys need to be better. What did Ottawa do, though, to maybe make things a little more difficult? Is it a matter of a goalie playing well? Or?
Seems like we get that question every playoffs, eh? Ottawa's a good team. They're physical, they're fast, they're good on entries. We know all these things, and I don't think it was necessarily their game tonight that was anything special compared to ours. I think it's tiny little errors, tiny little things that we can tweak, but most importantly, I think we just need to focus on ourselves. We know that wasn't our best. We have a time to regroup. If we put our best foot forth, our best game forth for 60 whole minutes, I think the result looks a lot different tonight.
Your line was on the ice for the game-winning goal. What's your read on the way things
Yeah, that's tough. Again, you never want that to be the game-winning goal when you're on the ice, but I think at the end of the day we were pressing, we were trying to put that next goal in, we were creating chances down low. Sometimes it turns into those things. I don't have the answer for you. I'm going to have to go watch it again. Obviously it hurts, it stings. But I thought we did some good things tonight too. We created a lot of chances. We got to bury them.
You did have a lot of good looks on the power play tonight, and I think the Ottawa PK sort of moves a lot more than some others in the league, and it looks like that gave you guys a lot of opportunities and momentum. What were you seeing out there, and did that affect how you were playing those power plays?
For our unit, we scored on the rush, so I can't say we really experienced that movement. So if we could do that every time, that would be great. But I think watching their unit, learning from it, they pressure 3 up top, and they have really quick and skilled players. So just being able to move the puck quickly and decisively, I think, will be key for both units.
I think it's huge for us as a team. Special teams are a huge part of the playoffs. To be able to get 2 power play goals tonight, I think it's awesome. I think that's one of the positives that we really need to kind of stick with, because I've been in this room and the power play has taken a beating too. So I think to be able to not have that as one of the things that we're getting questioned on, it's a nice feeling, and it's something that we can rally around. Is like, hey, if we can outplay them 5-on-5 and then know that we have the confidence to put some away on the power play, I think that puts us in a really great spot.
Maureen, a lot has been said about secondary scoring on this team throughout the season. Do you feel that pressure a little bit? There's been a lot of different combinations and that kind of the bottom 3 lines. Do you kind of feel that? Is that, help getting that first goal in the power play a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously we hear about it all the time, but at the end of the day, we didn't have a ton of secondary scoring, and we still finished first, and we still had a great regular season. So if we can get that in the playoffs, like, no one's stopping us. So I think, yeah, we hear about it all the time, and especially as somebody, that likes to put the puck in the net, just like a lot of people on our team, it sucks. But I think when you can be process focused, which we've talked a lot about on the team, eventually like little bounces are going to come. So I think just learning from that. But like I said, we did pretty damn well without it. So I can't wait to see what happens the next few games when we get it going.
So, I think
If you didn't play your best game, you would probably come up with a different result.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I don't think as a collective we had our best game, that's for sure. Some details and habits within our game plan, I think were not followed in terms of just some mental mistakes. I think that if we're able to capitalize on a few more of those opportunities that we created, then, it would maybe be in a different situation right now. But yeah, I don't think we had our best game, that's for sure.
What was missing, Corey? What would you have liked to see more of your team, maybe especially 5-on-5? I don't know.
Yeah, I liked what we generated. I liked the shot quantity. I liked the quality of chances we got as well. Would have liked just some more execution offensively. Would have liked to put some of those away 5-on-5. I liked our power play tonight. They obviously helped us. I think we took too many penalties, undisciplined penalties, that's for sure. So, that's 5-on-5. But it all stems from how we support the puck. So you don't support the puck well enough, you put yourself in a situation where you need to take penalties. And so that was kind of the tale tonight a little bit.
How do you regroup from this game playing on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, the thing for us is we liked our game plan. I thought we stopped Ottawa in certain aspects of their game plan that they wanted to execute on, but we don't need to change our game plan from this game. I think that again on the third goal, we had 2 players be a little too aggressive on a puck that was outside of the dots, and we know as a team that we don't do that, and especially off the rush. So mental error, mental mistake, and honestly maybe trying a little bit too hard as well, because it all comes from good intention. So regrouping, game plan stays the same, and now it's more about just how do we refocus our attention for game 2.
I asked the same thing to Laura.
Yep.
I know you said you guys don't talk about last year and you don't like those questions, but fact is, after 4 games in the history of the franchise, there's still no playoff win. Does that weigh on you and your staff? Do you feel some negative energy, besides from us maybe,
No.
about that?
No, you're just stating facts, right? So, no, we have to win a hockey game. If we dwell on on, you know, what's in the past, we're not going to make it very far. So have to regroup, move forward.
The power play went pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
Is it something you can build on for next game? And like that's one of the positives tonight?
Yeah, for sure. You know, really liked the looks, liked, you know, what both units brought. They brought momentum to our group, and, you know, I think it's just about now maintaining that momentum after those moments. And, you know, it's hard when you're coming from behind every, you know, the whole game. You know, they score, we score, they score, we score, they score, and you know, that's the story. And so we've got to find a way to get out in front. We've got to find a way to capitalize on our chances and find a way to get into the blue paint a little bit more.
You like the response after the, you know, after each of their goals, I felt like you guys went back at it pretty.
Yeah, for sure. Even after the third goal there too, like, you know, Guards misses an empty net puck right along the ice there, just goes wide. KO misses a shot over top of the net. We ding 2 off of her face, and you know, like that's hockey.
On the first goal he scored on the power play, did you feel that you had a bad luck at the draw because of the players that you had to keep on the ice? You lost one defense, one D on that.
No, I mean they're killers they're players who would kill. I didn't like the stick details of the diagonal pass there. I think it was LaBelle in the middle of the ice. Didn't like where her stick was. I thought we cheated a little bit for offense right before that with Grant Mentis and Dalton getting too high in the zone. And, you know, we missed a few clears. I think we missed 3 clears tonight on our PK. On different PKs, we missed clears. You can't miss clears. It's the most important thing. And for a power play, their most important thing, aside from scoring, is retrievals and getting pucks back. So for a PK, aside from killing the whole penalty off, clears are really important. You can't miss them. And that's what happened there.
Are you disappointed that you didn't have the best game in game 1 playoffs? Not much was said about building up to the playoffs. Now, obviously, I'm not asking you to put blame on the players, but is it something, or is there a little bit of disappointment where you didn't have your best game when it does matter?
No, like I see the work that the players put in every single day. And did we have our best game? No. Did I tell them that we had our best game? Yes. Are they going to not be let off the hook? Correct. They have to find a way. We as a collective have to find a way. And, you know, it's not an ideal position to be in, but it truly does show the character that's going to be in that room for a response. And that's what I'm really looking forward to.
We'll take we'll take 2 more, Jillian. And
You typically do a lot of line mixing, especially later in the game, but I don't think I saw a lot of that tonight.
Yeah.
What's the thinking behind that?
Not a lot of line mixing, but different lines going against different lines on the other team. So just, you know, trying to put players on the ice who we felt could get the job done. And I really liked Lena, Boreen, and Murphy tonight. I thought that they gave us a lot of spark. So we went with them a little bit more down the line there. You know, Pooh's line was keeping us in O-zone play for quite some time, which was great. And, you know, for LaBelle and O'Neill, you know, what they do away from the puck needs to be at the forefront of their focus and their game. And they know that, and they know that offense usually generates from good defensive positioning. So went a little bit more with Lena's line and Pooh's line near the end there.
I was just curious, you talked about the importance of retrievals on the
Yeah.
power play, and is that why you play Kayla near the net or in the bumper there? Do you feel that's one of her strength there?
I mean, as a D, I feel like you get pretty comfortable retrieving pucks off the wall. Probably not the main reason, but definitely a byproduct. You know, she's actually really good at tipping pucks. She's really good at in tight plays. and she sees the game really well. So it was nice to kind of have Ambrose at the top seeing the game really well, and then another set of eyes at the bottom seeing the game really well, and being able to find our shooters. So I like what they brought. You know, it's probably non-traditional to have Kayla Barnes on the goal line, but kind of worked. So we'll go with that. Yeah. Merci beaucoup.